Good morning, friends. Welcome to today's video post. Today is going to be our last segment in learning about the Dharma through paying close attention to nature. And this being the last day of this little series, also perhaps the most important day, because today's little take on it is going to be seeing how everything is interconnected, and how beautifully nature, the natural world, shows us that things like all sorts of things that have been discovered, right? Like these acres and acres and acres, hundreds of acres of groves of aspen trees where they're all interconnected, or these underground, I think it's called mycelium, the very fine network of these tiny hair-like particles, and how they go for miles and miles, and now they're discovering how even the tree roots are interconnected, and in relationship with these mycelial networks, and or the fact that our atmosphere has no right being made up of what it's made up of. It defies logic. And the only reason it's made up of the way it's made up, and actually staying that way, is because every life form on this planet contributes to it staying in that stable way, which of course supports life. So the fact that all things are interconnected, that this planet, as opposed to having discrete life forms on it, of course, which it does, but also seen as just one biosphere, one living organism. And so very easy to start to get a sense of that if we are paying close attention to the natural world, how things work, how things support one another, how all things relate to, react to each other. And of course, this is such an important time in human history to start to really wake up to this fact, because of the harm that's being done to the Earth's biosphere. It's really been just 400 years. In 400 years, human beings have wrought this much havoc on the life systems of the Earth. Just 400 years. And especially when you think of that 400-year period in relation to geologic time, and the time periods that life forms have come into existence on this Earth. Now we're talking about, at a minimum, hundreds of thousands of years, if not multiple millions of years. So we're talking about 400 years, and the environment is on the tipping point of collapsing. And it's this way because, as a whole, of course, individuals are different, but as a whole, humans have really become disconnected and lost sight of the truth that not only are we connected and dependent on the rest of the natural world, but even a step further, we are the natural world. We are those trees. In the most absolute sense, there is no separation. And so one of the most important things that's going to need to happen to really change the way we be on this Earth so that it is not destructive, it's not just going to be through technology, it's going to be through remembering, right? This is what a great word, remembering that we're part and parcel of this ecosystem. And I like the word remember, like remember, to bring together. to put ourselves back into relationship with everything else that is sentient on this planet. And all we have to do to remember that is pay attention, is to be mindful, to be intimate with the natural world around us. And, um, you know, very shortly, it will become obviously clear just how interconnected we are, how not separate we are. And this paying attention, of course, rests on the ability to pay attention, the ability to not be lost in our heads, in our own mind-made worlds. This is where humanity has gone. We're so, bowing down to the intellect, losing ourselves through in the mind-made worlds, forgetting about the body, forgetting about how this body is in relationship to the big body. And so at the same time, which is what's so beautiful about the formal practice, at the same time we're training the heart and mind to be present, to be steady, so that we can see. But also, while we're doing that, we're also very naturally reconnecting to this body. And when we reconnect to this body, we very much reconnect to the larger body. So the formal practice really works in two very important ways that will help us start to reestablish this correct relationship to the rest of our world, both in training the heart and mind to be present, but also in supporting re-inhabiting of this body. So let's go ahead and do some of this practice together. I really like, just closing the eyes and just in 1 second, as one brings the attention to the present moment, there's the body right here. And as we make that conscious connection to the body, we can then invite the body to soften and relax. And we can make this first very important, foundational, literally foundational connection with the world by feeling our connection with the earth below us, those contact points. Feeling the small body sit, stand, lie down, rest on the big body. And then even eventually, the distinction of the two bodies can disappear. Wonderful saying from the Zen tradition, we sit together, the mountain and me, until only the mountain remains. Connecting to the earth element, heavy, dense, hard and soft, rough and smooth. not thinking about the earth element, directly feeling it in a somatic way. So we can feel sensations at these contact points with the earth. Perhaps we can feel sensations in other parts of the body, even where it's not in contact with itself or the earth. Directly connecting and apprehending this body, connecting with it in its sensational way, directly, preconceptual, in this body that's resting on the earth is also breathing. And as we connect to this other way, very important, intimate way that we are connected to all of life on this earth is through the sharing and the maintaining of this atmosphere through the in and out breathing. All life forms in some way are dependent on and are in relationship with the atmosphere, this thin, thin blue haze, like a blanket over the earth. Each in breath and each out breath, a manifestation of this exquisite interconnection. Your next in breath has been supported by the respiration of every life form that's ever been on this earth. Perhaps connecting with feelings of loving kindness as we feel into this interconnectedness, this spontaneous and natural caring that arises from the knowing of this interconnection. Which includes the compassion, the feeling into and being with the truth of the destruction of life on this earth, Being connected means feeling. Not being connected means not feeling. These are our choices. May our practice help us to understand the exquisite interconnectedness of all things. Thank you for practicing together. So I encourage you to explore, especially if you have a mind that's kind of likes information and science mind or whatever. There's so much interesting things to read about how life forms on this earth are connected. You can also, and really get a sense of the interconnectedness through that, through that form of wisdom, right? Of reading. Buddha talked about different levels of wisdom, and reading about things is definitely one level of it. Or maybe you're the kind of person that's not so much a thing. Maybe it's you walk out, in the woods or just even down the street where there's a tree, and you just be with it. You just take some time to just be with it. And in that being with, over time, through the being with, it's not possible to uh, not start to understand how we're connected. Okay, that's it for today, friends. Uh, I will see you again on Thursday. Caroline will be with you tomorrow. Until then, take good care. Bye-bye.